Illumination has a brand new animated family film that's going to be released on Christmas week, and I had the chance to check out this movie a whole month early, so I can't wait to talk to you guys about the brand new Sing sequel, so let's just get to it. Welcome back, film fans. This is Let's Be Real Brad. Today on the channel, I want to talk about the brand new computer animated family musical comedy film called Sing 2. Sing 2 is a sequel to the box office smash hit 2016 Sing, and it stars all the same big name actors that you saw from the original film and much more. As you may or may not know, I am not a fan of Illumination whatsoever, as I think they produce some of the most generic, boring, and very uninteresting animated family films, as I just think that they just don't compare to the Disneys, the DreamWorks, the Studio Ghibli's, and Pixar. So going into Sing 2, I was very nervous about watching this movie, considering that I wasn't a massive fan of the original Sing, as I thought it was very generic, boring, and just a very average movie. And now that I have seen the film, I have to say that yeah, this is another average, boring, and kind of bad Illumination movie that we all came to expect. When it comes to Sing 2, this movie is definitely targeting the more younger children for this one, as I think the adults are not going to enjoy this movie quite a lot as the kids are, because the color palette is very bright, it is very desanitized, and the musical numbers do feel like it's all kids bop music. It's just very safe and easy, and it does have a good message in it, so I think the parents might be able to enjoy that in this movie. Let's just start right with the positives first, and we're going to start with the voice acting. I actually think the voice acting is quite solid in this movie, as it's nothing spectacular, memorable, or bad even, but I think it just does its job for these characters, and some of the actors like Matthew McConaughey do disguise themselves as these characters, so I just didn't see Matthew McConaughey the entire time, or Scarlett Johansson, or anyone else that's in this movie. I do think the singing in this movie is pretty solid, even though it is very sanitized. My next positive with this movie is the third act. Somehow, some way, the third act was pretty exciting and very intense, even though I knew everything that was going to happen. But there was one moment that happened in this movie that I just did not expect, and I just had this excitement to me. I don't know if I'm crazy here, but I somehow enjoyed it. And my last positive I have with this movie is the moral messages of the film. I really do think that this movie is able to have another great message for kids, just like the first film, about finding your talent, that everyone's special, everyone's unique. But in this movie, it goes into confidence, and that is something that I think everyone needs. Confidence is something that I have lacked for a very long time, even though I'm able to showcase it to you guys and be all excited and talking about movies, and sometimes I could be super confident, but a lot of times I don't feel that at all. And so I feel like this movie was able to give me something that I've needed for a while now. And I know it's generic, I know it's cheesy, and if I had the confidence, I probably wouldn't enjoy this aspect as much as I am, but I just feel like it is good for people who need that confidence, especially younger children. Alright guys, let's get right into my negatives, because I have a whole bunch with this movie, and we're going to start with my first and main negative that I even have with the first Sing, is that these characters do not need to be animals. These are regular people who do regular things, and the animals that they are chosen to be do not matter. The main koala in this movie doesn't need to be a koala. He could literally be an iguana. He can be literally anything. They do some animalistic things, you know, like being able to fight like the apes, because, you know, they're strong. But when you're watching the movie, you're like, the animal characteristics do not matter for the story. If these were just turned into regular people, the movie would be exactly the same. Everything you've seen of this movie, you have seen in other movies before. Well, that's okay, but it just doesn't beat for beat, and I just was so bored watching this movie. Considering that this movie is almost 2 hours, and most animated films are around an hour and 20, hour and 30, and an extra 20 to 25 minutes makes this movie so much longer, and I was just not with this movie. I was getting pretty tired of this movie in the first 2 acts because it's the same mundane, monotonous thing where just conflict arises because it needs to, and you just know the entire movie as you start the movie. They just set up everything for you, and then you just know how everything's just gonna roll because it's just a predictable, cheesy, stupid movie. I would also like to mention some of the musical choices in this movie because some of them are really bad and so annoying, and they just feel already outdated. Like, if we watch this movie 10 years from now, it's going to be a product of its time, but it just feels so outdated in the worst way possible, unlike something like Space Jam that still holds up today. Overall, guys, Sing 2 is a movie that the kids are really going to enjoy, and the adults not so much, because if you enjoyed the first Sing movie, I think you're going to enjoy this movie just as much, but it does have a weaker story, weaker songs, weaker characters, and just feels much more boring and uninteresting. And it does have some good morals and messages, but it just doesn't feel like it has the heart and the characters that we sort of liked in the original film. I'm going to be giving Sing 2 a strong 5 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out my review, and I want to know down below in the comments section, how would you rank all the Illumination movies? But before you check out this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a like if you want to, and ring that notification bell so I can see you all in the following review.